Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. You're gonna like today. Yeah, I picked a color on my sweater. You know the sweater that I'm making with this cloud paca? Yeah, that's the color. You kind of knew I was gonna do that, didn't you? I don't know, man. I'm telling you, it took me this long to put some of this in there because I was so enamored with the mint green, right? I mean, there's just no doubt about that. But I decided to go with this lavender, you know, like the hat right here. Oh my gosh. And I'm loving that big flower. And that flower, that pattern is alpine bloom, and it has adorned I don't know how many things, hats and sweaters and cardigans and all sorts of things. And I did buy this pattern. This is called the Bloom Pullover by Brianna Mason, and she designed this particular pullover using the Cloud Paca yarn. Okay, so I had to get it. I did buy the pattern, and here it is. Look at that. That is beautiful, and then you see it laying out like that and everything, and it's just gorgeous. What I love the alpine flower. I like all of that. I'm just concerned with me personally, a sweater that's literally shaped like that to fit, you know, like going really just a slope like that. So I'm a little concerned about that, but I love that. And then smart people in the audience have commented, where is that? Because look how low that goes. Where is that line of flowers going to hit you? You might want to think about that. Okay, fine. So I was rummaging through some other things and I found I have my alpine bloom hat. So I do have the alpine bloom, you know, pattern for that. Let me show you what it looks like. Well, that's the hat, right? And the alpine bloom, here's somebody who said alpine bloom. Look at that in the sweater. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. So even though I bought the other pattern, I had the collar done, had to add stitches, got it, because I don't know, I finished all the short rows and I was short 4 stitches somewhere along the way. I don't care. I picked them up. No big deal. It's fine. Some black. No one will see it. So I did that. Divisible by 8. All right. And I was back and forth. Which size do I make? Whatever. And then I decided I didn't necessarily want the pattern I bought, and I don't necessarily want to go buy another pattern. I know how to make sweaters, kind of. We've seen it, you know, it'll be fine. It will fit somebody. It will, even if it doesn't fit me. So I started doing some color work, and I don't know what it was. I was trying to play with the dominance, and what that is which color, you can see my hat, which color is going to be the one that stands out the most? Is it going to be the purple or is it going to be the black? You know, and then that's always an interesting one. So the purple is actually more dominant on this. The way I held my yarn, the purple in through here, the black's more sunk in. And I watched videos. I did. So when we look at the floats, and I know I've shown you the floats before, but there's kind of a reason. It's kind of helpful. So my floats are in parallel. That means they're stacked on top of each other. I did maintain the position, and the dominance is what that's called. It kind of makes it look different on gauge too. So each one of those, the black is at the bottom and the purple is at the top. So the black at the bottom is going to end up with, that is the, is it the black that's more dominant? Yeah, the black is more dominant here. Okay, so it is a black that's more dominant. The one that's on the bottom as you're stranding is going to end up being more dominant on the other side. And we see how pronounced that purple is, you know? So anyway, I had to watch videos to make sure that I understood exactly what it was that I was looking at again, because I wanted the flowers to be black, and I wanted just like this, and I wanted the flowers to really pop. But looking at this, that's not really what I wanted to pop. It's not, because if the black is what's popping, then you're not going to see the fine details as much, like this purple in here that's defining that flower, all of those little details on that. So on this one, I really did want the purple to be more pronounced. I don't know, just fun stuff. So I was playing with that. I started it with the bloom pattern, which has different increases. And I didn't quite follow the increases. I'm not done with it. And I didn't quite follow the increases. See, I got it. I got some there. And then I also went back and forth on which one was dominant. I am not the person to explain that. I understand that there's a big difference. I've seen multiple videos. There is a big difference. Whatever you choose, be consistent throughout your entire piece, and it will look nicer. I was not consistent. I have that much. I was not consistent, which is why they're not, like this top up here, that black really pops, and down here, well, in the middle right here, it does not pop as much because I changed which way I was holding my yarn. That's why it did that. And I made a mistake on one of them, but I just left it. But you can kind of see the black up here, that line is definitely a lot stronger than those dots are. And then I changed it back to where I wanted that black to be more of the dominant, more to show that definition. And then I'm working on this and I got to about there, right? And I realized, wait a minute. I thought I wanted my flowers to be in the black. So I know I just, when you, because on this one, on the, I was all kinds of, my husband's like, you are all ate up. I'm like, I know. So this one does start out with that top neck pieces. You know, I've got the whole turtleneck right now on mine is black. And then you would start off with the purple flowers. And then you'd end up down here as black flowers with purple on the body. Okay, got it. That's for that one. All right. Well, I decided I'm going to be doing that pattern instead. So I don't know what I'm doing, but it's a good thing I have enough yarn that I can make whichever one. You know, I think I'm ending up with a black sweater with purple flowers. I think that's the way this is heading right now. Unless I wanted to pop back into like this one and switch it. You know, this one does a switch somewhere in the middle, right? So it doesn't keep all your color work in the same color. It's not like all your color work on theirs is brown and the rest of the sweater's white. They do switch that up. So I could, if I wanted to, switch that up right after the, you know, those floral pieces right there, then switch it and everything and make the flower itself. The big huge one in the purple, and then these leaves down here in the purple and the rest of it, or make those in the black and the rest of it in purple. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea. Oh, did I mention my gauge is off? Like a lot, like a whole bunch, a lot. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's gonna fit somebody. It's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, I have no idea who's gonna fit. So measuring against this, I measured against the hat, and the hat had a different gauge than, you know, what I've got right here. I have no idea what my gauge is. I measured. It's way smaller than what that pattern is. I don't know. But the other thing, that one you start off, each repeat is 8 stitches and it goes to 18. This one, each repeat, you know, I'm starting in the 8 stitches spot and it goes to 20. Okay, so I'm going to have more stitches. It'll be fine. It's going to be great. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. Where did I just put my little... I brought that little pink cable thing. Where did I just set my little pink cable? There it is. My try-on cord. Yeah, that thing. Because I haven't had this off the needles. It's this big, beautiful, crumpled mess. Oh, and hubby was teasing me. He's like, oh, that's big yarn. Kinda big yarn. Yeah. But we're just not going to talk about that. We're just not going to admit to that. All right. Can I get this on here, or do I have to change needles? All right, I didn't think my clothing out today as far as before the video, but look at that. This is stunning. I put it on the try-on cord so I could kind of spread it out a little bit and we could see. Yeah, I'm good with that. I was a little concerned with, like I said, the way I was doing the dominance. I don't care. I'm going with it. It's beautiful. It will fit somebody. Wasn't planning on making a black sweater with, you know, like purple flowers, but oh well, it'll be gorgeous. And look, see, this is all that's for the back right there, and it's less in the front. I got a turtleneck on right now, so I'm sure this will be great. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's a big turtleneck on this one too. That's gonna be stunning. Okay, I'm good with that. It'll be fine. It'll fit me, maybe me. I don't know. But yeah, I've got lots more increases to do and everything else. That is gorgeous. That's pretty. I like it. Yeah. See, I finished hubby's sweater, so I was able to start working on it again because I did start the collar while his sweater wasn't done. That's really hot, double layered. Woo! 2 turtlenecks in one. Holy cow. But yeah, it's a big floppy neck. I mean, look at that. It's a big neck. It's a big neck. And I like those colors. And then hubby was still teasing or joking and everything about that too. He's like, well, you know, you can still do that fade from, you know, purple to green. You can still do that. And he's right. I can. I've got the yarn. I could do that. But no, I was thinking about it with that other pattern. I don't know. Because I've got black and I don't know. I could fade, like once I finish the purple flowers to fade the black to green. I don't think that would be as cool. I think if I would have stuck to the original pattern that I had purchased, and went with that transition and then maybe change, but maybe not, because look how far, and maybe it's just on her, she's short-waisted, I don't know, but look how far down that flower goes. I mean, she's either short-waisted or doesn't have a lot here or something, and I know that's really rude, but the way the pattern shows, that's where you're breaking for the arms, is where you get done with those flowers. And that's like down to the middle of her stomach is whatever, you know, like, I don't know. If she went like that, who knows, right? I'm not really sure. That's kind of interesting the way that that's fitting on her. Is it a crop top on her? I mean, maybe that's it. Because look at that. These arms look like, remember when I did, come on, open up. Remember when I was working on the angel sweater for my sister? And my arms were like that for her, and it was definitely a crop top. So maybe that's it. It's that she made a crop style. Or she's got long gorilla arms like I do. I don't know. So I'm not really sure. That's kind of interesting. So it had me back and forth. It definitely had me back and forth. I'm still making a sweater. It's gonna be my own thing. It'll be beautiful. It's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna fit somebody. Like my mantra, it will fit someone. Yeah. See, look at this. This is, let me pull this up. This is, it's got to be, she must have done a crop. But look, that was the original pattern that I bought. And I kind of happy that I'm going to be doing my increases a little bit sooner to where you have that more on the shoulder or something. I don't know. That's just, we're going to see. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. We're going to see. Of course, the other thing too I've had issues with is, especially with the yoke sweaters, I don't need as much fabric in the back. Okay, you know what I'm getting at? And then I've ended up having to do a lot of decreases in the back, or the back seems like all ruffly. It's like there's room for stuff there. And yeah, so we're gonna see how this works. Yokes are interesting for me. They are very interesting. It's a new endeavor. It is. I've done a couple, but that whole, you know, especially when you don't do gauge thing, like a lot of things I can deal with whatever on the gauge, but with a yoke, you've got that large circle that's going out, and you've definitely increased. And yeah, you take off for the arms and stuff, but generally you have the same amount of fabric that you have in the front and the back, and it's just, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's because it's the rounded part, you know, you've got that round part in both the front and the back, and it lays differently. It's not like just squared off, it curves like that, and then you're continuing to go around. So not explaining it well, but I understand what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you do, but I kind of get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, yoke sweaters are interesting. We're going to see what happens with this. And if I get too far on the depth of the yoke, I might have to cut that pattern off at some point. And you know, I could do that. You know what? Okay, so see right there? See where that is? I could cut it right there, not do the big flower, and put the big flower towards the hemline. If my yoke is getting too deep beforehand, I could do that. I've got options. I have a plan. Easy. I have a plan. Oh, and then, you know what? At that point, I could change the color, right? If I did it just partial, I'm just playing at this point. If I did it just partial to that, it's going to go down, and we'll see what my gauge is and how that works. I have no idea. I'm just spitballing at the moment. I really don't know what I'm doing. So I could do that and then go down to about the middle waistline-ish, and then start striping in the purple, yeah. Yeah, so then the bottom of the half can be purple, just like it had it in that, and then put the black flowers, that big flowers and everything on the bottom, and then I don't have to worry about those being where they shouldn't be. I could do that. Oh, that's an idea. That I think might work. So there's a lot of different options. This is going to be my own unique creation because I've already just gone, thrown the pattern out. I mean, just... I did. It's just whatever. I don't have a good gauge. This looks huge though, so far. So I'm not really concerned about the gauge at the moment. It's going to be pretty. Someone's going to love it. I'm hoping it's me, but somebody's going to love it. I'm pretty sure once this is done, if it doesn't fit me, somebody will claim it quickly. Yeah, this will get claimed. If that's any indication and how stark and beautiful that is, even with the mistakes that I made in there, yeah, I made some mistakes and I left them. Yeah, I did. I left it. It shows up nicely. It's still pretty. It's still a flower. There's still, you know, I was consistent with my mistake all the way around. So it's the way it was done on purpose. Yes, it was done on purpose. Besides, why do I have to follow the pattern correctly 100%? I mean, I'm not following anything else in the pattern 100%. So I can put my own flair in there. Yeah, that's it. That's the way to do it. It's all in the way you look at things. It really, really is. Change your perspective on stuff and you can change things kind of like Bob Ross. Oh, look, it's a happy little plant. It's a happy little tree. Yes, yes, it is. Like, oh, look, I've dropped my paint here. That's okay. We'll cover it up. Now it's a tree. Got it. And he always did it with a smile on his face. You could do that too, you know, just with yarn. Yeah, with yarn. You could paint if you want to, but that's another craft that takes up another storage area. That's all I'm going to say. That's just how that works. So, hey, if you got the room, go for it. So yeah, this is exciting. And look, that black is black, man. I tell you what, counting those rows is like, nope, not happening. Yeah, this is really cool though. It's a soft, fluffy yarn. This is, wow, these balls are 50-gram balls. That is crazy. This stuff is so light. Oh, here. For those that didn't know, that's what this is. This is the Joann KNC Cloud Paca. You may or may not be able to find it at your Joann store. Only in store. They don't have any more online purchases. Joann is in mass liquidation mode. So if they have it and you want it, cool. If they don't have it and you wanted it, Ice Yarns, I've been told, has something that's very similar to it, if not the same. And there's a couple other places. I'm thinking Drops, but I don't think that was it. There's another one. It's in my comments. Somebody had commented. But there are some that are very similar, if not the same exact yarn as this. So you can still get it if this is what you're craving and you missed out. This particular stuff is 50 grams, super light, 164 yards, worsted weight. Hubby's like, that's big. Well, it does seem kind of, you know, it's because it's fuzzy. You know, it's really fuzzy. It's one of their luxury brands. One of what Joann was carrying, they're more luxury brands that a lot of stores didn't actually have it in the store. But this is 28% polyamide, which is a nylon for strength, 14% merino wool superwash, and 58% baby alpaca. So 50 yards, and yeah, hand wash. Hand wash. If you throw this in something and agitate it, it's going to be small. It'll be very small when it comes out, and it will not fit the intended recipient. That's all I'm going to say. You know, accidents happen, and if an accident happens, just know it will be ruined. And if it does happen, okay, so if by chance, you know, after this is done and made and loved and worn multiple times and whatever, and gets thrown in the washing machine on accident, it will felt. It will shrink up and it will felt. And yeah, that would be sad. But to make it to where you haven't lost everything, yeah, that sweater's not going to fit you. It's just not. You can take, because it will be felted, and you can cut your sweater like fabric. And this is going to have these beautiful motifs all around and absolutely gorgeous. Use that, cut it like fabric, and sew it onto something. Incorporate it into something else. If you're knitting something else, whatever, you cut that part out and you make those as pockets. That's your pocket on something. You can hand sew that on. But what I'm saying is, yes, it would be sad. It would be very sad, but you can still keep a piece of that. You can still do some other crafts with that felted material to where you it's just morphing. It's just changing. It's transitioning. It's transitioning from a beautiful sweater that fits you perfectly to a pincushion, another article of clothing. You could take that and cut that and hand sew yourself fingerless mitts or a hat or something. You could definitely use that and use the felted part, and then you could knit or crochet on to that, you know, and cut out the pieces that you want, knit or crochet and everything, and then turn it into something larger. So it wouldn't be all lost. It would just be different. And, you know, we can love different too. We can love different too. And it's a good way to keep you from maybe not crying so much, because yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. And have some of my sweaters ended up in the wash before? Yeah. But you know what? I don't do the laundry. I'm not complaining. I had my Remix Light sweater, the Derecho. I think that's how you say it. But that's the Remix Light. And it says on there, hand wash only. Well, that has gone through the washer and dryer. It wasn't on purpose, you know. And it did shrink up a little, which was perfect for me. It didn't like felt and everything. I've worn it quite a bit. You guys have seen me wear it. But it did shrink up a little, which was fine because I made it too big. You know, evidently I don't know how big I am, right? You know, I'm like, gauge, right? That's it. It's a gauge thing. So it shrunk a little bit, and you can still see the stitches. You can still see the pattern. It's extremely soft. It's cozy. It's not ruined, but it did get in the wash. Okay. Things happen is all I'm getting at. And no, there was no tirade on this person. I do not do the laundry. I tirade on anything? It would be 100% his right to say, your chore. And I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. You're going to complain about what the other person does and how they do it. You're just asking to have that thing and make it yours. And if that's what you want, by all means. But I don't. So, yeah, it was a total accident. But I'm kind of happy that he did it, because it did shrink the sweater down a little bit, and it was too big. And I can definitely report on that yarn. Yeah, it's going to last longer, and it's going to look crisper if you don't put it in the wash machine. But if you do, the Remix Light, it's not game over. It's not, oh, wow, you know, I might cut it up and use it for other things. This, with the alpaca and the wool and everything, yeah, it'd be game over. It would. But you can still use it. You can use it for other purposes. That's what I was getting at. You can incorporate the color work and everything else, and it would felt beautifully. I'm pretty sure it would. And it would just look absolutely amazing. And you know, there was a felting craze for a while with the handbags and what have you. That right there with the beautiful colorwork yoke that I'm going to put on it, if it ever got felted, that piece could be used for something else. And depending on how big or small that yoke was, what you could do is take that part out, re-knit whatever else, and repurpose that for a smaller person. You know, I got grandkids, so that would work. You know, if it didn't actually work as a sweater as is. But there's a lot of different things that you can do. It's just what ways to look at things. I'm gonna make sure this doesn't get in the wash machine, all I'm gonna say. But if it ends up not fitting me and I gift it to somebody else, you can't control it. You just can't control it. And I just look at, I will have had a lot of fun making it. I mean, I'm already having fun, and I'm already gone off the rails on the pattern, and I'm already gone off the rails on the gauge and the everything else. And I'm already thinking about all sorts of different things, you know. Patterns are guidances, but you don't have to follow them 100%. And if you don't follow them 100%, you know, it might work out and it might not. Just be comfortable with that. You've seen me make things, and they don't always work out. And it's not the pattern's fault, because let's face it, I wasn't following the pattern 100%. It said turn right, and I'm like, but what's on the left-hand side? That's just how I am. The pattern creator doesn't care. I gave them their money for their advice and everything, and I followed the parts that I wanted to, and I tossed the other parts away. And sometimes it could be to my peril. It could. And other times I might just like the new creative way that I have made things. Had I followed patterns a bit closer in the beginning of my garment making journey and really paid attention, I might have had better success earlier on. Okay, let's face it, I probably would have had better success earlier on. You know, do a really good gauge swatch. Pay attention to how they actually sew things together, not the way you want to sew them together. You know, those types of things. But I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to learn in the proper manner at that point in my life. Yeah, I wasn't ready for those instructions. I had them, I bought them, I paid for them, I downloaded them, right? But I wasn't ready to follow them. I wanted to learn on my own, and some things were good and some things weren't. And I'm learning on my own. And that's probably why I'm still improving a lot right now, because I'm like, oh, now I get it. Am I still following the patterns? No, but I've learned enough from trial and error, and I'm getting a little better. I should probably take a really well-written pattern, follow it 100% through, really study it and everything, and go for it. Probably why I like, especially for beginners, well, for anybody, but Tin Can Knits DK flax, worsted flax. It is a sweater that goes from itty bitty tiny to multi, double, triple, quadruple X sizes, right? It just goes up, right? And that one is really well written. It's well proportioned. You still have to get your gauge. I don't really care, so what have you. But if you follow that and you do your gauge, you're going to have so much success with making a garment and understand that construction. I've got the flax sweater in the DK weight. I've got that on my needles right now. And I've also got another one from Tin Can Knits, the Harvest Cardigan. So those are two, and each one of them is not my first time making it. I have made those patterns multiple times with great success. So those are really good ones to make, and they're great for templates. But it takes stuff like that and really working with that and realizing the proportions and where do I do the increases? Where do I not do the increases? I've just done a lot of stuff kind of winging it. And like I said, if I would have taken better guidance and paid attention, I might have had success sooner. Truthfully, I don't think I'd changed my journey though. I've really enjoyed learning stuff, and sometimes things click just a little bit more when you make a mistake. You know what I'm getting at? Because you're like, I'm not doing that again. I am not doing that again. I did the whatever. That's not 100% true. How many times have you sewn something on backwards or inside out? I have. Yes, I have. Pin it together, get it all ready and everything, and then sew it together, and you're like, haha, I'm done. And the piece is backwards. It's inside out. The seam is on the wrong side. I have done that more than once. I have definitely done that. It's one of those live and learn things. You know, I think on that one, it's like they say, measure twice, cut once. You know, pay attention. Pay attention. I think I've got, what, do I have the little, no, I don't have a little guy up there. Where'd my little guy go? I had the little dragon up there that I made from, oh, darn it, I can't remember the name. But I did two matching, two exactly like. I made them both at the same time. And I followed the instructions very, very well, definitely, for sewing the thing together for the first one. And I had them in tandem. So I was doing assembly line. So I made one part, one part, one part, one part, right? So I didn't get, you know, lost and everything. So I finished sewing this one together, and I started sewing the second one together. And first one, very meticulous, looking at the instructions, making sure I understood it, came out gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Second one, I sewed that together. I sewed it backwards. I sewed it inside. I sewed something wrong, and I had to pick that out, which is really annoying because I sew things together very well. So that was quite discouraging. I did get it taken care of, and I had two of the cute little things done. And that was one of my little, you know, the bearded dragon. Granddaughter has one. The other one I thought was right here, but it might have fallen off the shelf. It's probably right there. But that was that one. So kind of doesn't really matter how far along I get. You can still get excited, start to work on something, pin your pieces together, and going, okay, yeah, I've got my pieces together and everything, we're good. And then realize that you've put the seam on the wrong side. Yeah, I've done that. So life goes on. Make it work. Just make it work. So yeah, measure twice. Yeah, that would be good if I did that with gauges too. I don't. You know what my gauge swatch was this? My gauge swatch was the hat. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good enough with the hat. There, I got it. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Got any bets? Is it going to be too big? Too small? What do we think? I don't know. I put this around my head, my neck. I think it might be bigger than smaller. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have any issues with the size being it's too small. I think that's going to be big enough. We'll see. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I hope you've enjoyed this. I finally picked a color. I'm finally doing stuff, and I am owning my failures and my mistakes, and I'm moving on. I will definitely rip out mistakes when they need to be, Others I can live with. There are mistakes in here. I did change the dominance of my yarn. I'm not going to do that anymore throughout the pattern. I did change the dominance of the yarn. That's okay. Holy cow, that's big. Okay, that is big. That's big. That's not like a, that's big. That's like goes way around. Is that a fluttery circle or just a circle? Okay, it's just a circle right now. I'm gonna still go with it. It's beautiful. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll lock out. It'll be fine. I'm gonna tell myself that. I might add a few more rows because even if it's not fine, I think I have to get at least 2 more inches of knitting before I realize it and then pull it out. Because I'm gonna say it's fine for at least another 2 inches. At least. Why? That's the insanity with making crafts. Somehow when I go to pull something out, I can't make that decision when I first notice something. Like it's fine. It's fine. No. And then it's a couple inches later that it'll tell me it's not fine. So we'll see. We'll see Monday where I'm at, and if I have to pull things out, or I'm like, look, it's working. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Right now, it's fine. It's beautiful. It's okay. It's big. It's big. It's really big. Look at that. That's big. That's big. It's pretty though, but it's big. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm getting loopy now. It is way past my bedtime. It is late. It's time for me to put my stuff down. Step away from the yarn fumes, lady. Step away. With that, I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.